Hi and welcome to Lisburn Distillery TV, episode 10. I'm Colin Hopkins.
And I'm Lydia Campbell.
And in tonight's episode we look at the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for January 2017.
We will also be reviewing the Whites' recent 2-1 victory over Bangor, including match highlights.
And we'll also have a quick discussion with Noel Keenan, long-term White supporter who's now successfully got a role at the National Stadium at Windsor Park.
And finally we will be reviewing the recent scores in the Colin versus Lydia Forecast challenge. Tonight we'll be kicking off our show by announcing the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for January 2017. So would you like to do the honours, Colin?
I would indeed. Absolutely delighted to announce that the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for January 2017 was our very own joker in the pack, Timmy Clark.
Brilliant, good stuff, and I think that's a very popular choice.
Yeah. Timmy's definitely a character, let's put it that way, and a very popular character in the change room, so I think we're all delighted to see he had actually won the trophy.
Yeah, and it's exciting to note as well that that's now, we're 5 months in, and we've had 5 different winners, which shows there's real competitive nature amongst the squad. I think it really lifts the players. Yeah,
it's very good to see that, to be honest. As you say, it's proved that every player is striving their best to do 100% for the club, and the fact to have 5 different winners really speaks volume of how well the team is playing at the moment, so congratulations to Timmy. Good news is that after Saturday's game, David Hunter caught up with Timmy to get his reaction to winning the reward, and here's exactly what he had to say.
Timmy, thanks very much for joining me after the game today against Bangor. Congratulations, first of all, on your award, the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for January 17. And if I can just say, you were smiling like a basket of chips when you won it. It must have been a nice surprise for you.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think I would have got it. You know, Darren Dockery, who's probably been the most consistent player this season, I thought he was going to get it again. So it was nice when Matt called my name out for it. So
you're happy there. But I mean, in fairness to you though, Timmy, I mean, you've come in at the start of the season, you were in and out of the team, but really since December onwards, you've settled yourself in either in left midfield or alternatively left back, and you've been doing well there.
Yeah, well, I think I have. I think that, as I said, I went up to Port Stewart and I didn't have a good game in Port Stewart, and I know to win this, you need to have probably need to play the 4 games, and the 4 games you need to play well, and I think I missed out on it once earlier on in the season, but well, as I said, I'm happy enough. Yeah.
And sod's law, of course. I mean, people talk about managers' awards and then something happens. You come off the day with a bit of an injury at half time. Tell me a wee bit about that.
The injury, or?
Yes, the injury. What happened there?
I've had a tight hamstring it sort of tweaked it there when I was running, so probably maybe go to physio during the week and see how it goes, but I don't think it's too bad. Like.
Okay, just to look ahead quickly, club's going well at the minute, moving up the table. What's your thoughts on the rest of the season? What are you looking to get out of the game?
I would like to be challenging. I think 2 go up, so as I think I said before in another interview that Limavady could run away with it, but we still have to play them a couple of times. Yes. So if we're up there as a split in the top 6, in the top 6 anything can happen. We've got to play against the other top 5. We beat 3 or 4 of them, and we're right up there. We have a good chance of going up, and if we get the club back up in the championship 1, who knows where we're going to go next, so
indeed, who knows. Okay,
who knows exactly.
Alright, Timmy, thanks once again for joining me, and congratulations on your award, the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for January. It's well done to you.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thanks for the Echlinville for the bottle of gin that they've given me for this, so
okay,
and thanks to the supporters as well for choosing me.
Good man. Okay, thanks, Timmy. Thank you.
Next up on tonight's show, we will be discussing the Whites' recent victory over Bangor here at New Grosvenor.
Yes, indeed, it was a great weekend for Lisburn Distillery as they defeated Bangor by 2-1, picking up 3 massive points in terms of the league standings along the way.
Just before we discuss the game, let's have a look at Saturday's match highlights, which were supplied to us by Matthew Moore from Bangor FC TV. Colin, that's now 6 games unbeaten in the league.
Yeah.
We've really hit form at the right time.
Yeah, very much so. Saturday was a very, very hard fought game. Bangor certainly did not play like a side who are struggling near the foot of the table. They pushed us all the way, scored a fantastic goal through Andy Long, and I must admit at the end of the 90 minutes I was absolutely delighted that we came away with 3 points.
When we look at the league table at this stage, we're sitting in 5th, but we're only 5 points off Donegal Celtic in top spot, and we'll have a game in hand.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, I know speaking to the management team of Mac and George after the game, they were still very much looking at how we can leave a gap between us and the 7th place team, because their initial target is to finish in the top half of the table. But I think as supporters we're certainly fully entitled to sort of start looking up the table and think, is there an outside chance we could go up here? I don't think it's outside of our grounds. Yeah,
and it's a really exciting time to be a supporter of the club, when you have players and supporters alike thinking, we could do something here.
Yeah, there's certainly a buzz has returned to Lisburn Distillery this year after the dismal performances of last year. They're now put in the past and the club's really moving forward on all fronts. So I'm really looking forward to the future now, I must admit. Just on Saturday there was a few player absences which people have been asking about, so it's only fair that we give you an update exactly what was happening on the day. Firstly, we were missing Stephen Sticky Hislop. Unfortunately, Stephen suffered a family bereavement at the weekend with the passing away of his grandfather. And just on behalf of Lisburn Distillery, we'd like to offer our thoughts and prayers to the Hislop family at this time, and we look forward to welcoming Sticky back to the club in due course.
Another absentee was Paul Young up front. Paul's wife Heather has just given birth to a little baby girl, Ella. We'd just like to wish Paul and Heather just our biggest congratulations with that. But Paul, just to leave you something to think about, Harry Kane has recently had a little baby girl, and on his first game back for Spurs he scored a hat-trick. So we'll try not to put too much pressure on you, but we're looking forward to see not 1, not 2, but 3 baby swing celebrations on the next game you play. But overall, Paul, we just want to give you our biggest congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Paul.
Well, just after the game on Saturday, Colin caught up with one of our goal scorers just to hear his thoughts on the game and looking forward to the future.
So, yet another good result for Lisburn Distillery today, as they've defeated Bangor by 2-1. After the game, we caught up with Andrew Simpson, who scored his debut goal for the club, and here's what Andrew had to say. Okay, Andrew, another good result for the club and a debut goal for yourself for Lisburn Distillery. How does that feel?
Feels great to get off the mark. Like, it wasn't the best of goals, but they all count, so they're giving me a bit of stick in there, but they all count to me, so
they're all just jealous of your goal scoring ability, no doubt.
That's it.
So another big 3 points for the club. It obviously keeps us well in the racing in terms of the league positions. Next week with Sport and Leisure, another difficult game.
Well, I haven't played them this year, but if they're all as hard as that, but they're all quite physical, you know what I mean? So another 3 points a day in the next week, hopefully another 3 points in. Keep it on going. You've obviously been here just a few weeks now, so you're still quite a new member of. How are you settling in overall to the club? Yeah, brilliant, loving it, loving training and all. And I actually knew a couple of the boys are Wurzel and Dockin, and who played against Curly and played against Aaron Harris and stuff, so I'm adapting well, so loving it. What can we achieve this season realistically? Well, Mac keeps saying top 6, but if we keep going the way we are, we'll not count our chickens, so we'll just keep winning games, putting points on the board. Andrew, thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us today. Thanks. So next up for Lisburn Distillery, it's a home fixture this Saturday against Sport and Leisure. Thoughts on that one, Lydia? It's going to be another really difficult game. Sport and Leisure are really battling with Queens for that bottom relegation spot, and they win one week and then lose the next, and then win the next week, and quite inconsistent. But the closer it gets to the end of the season, the more important it is for those guys to pick up points. So I think with that in mind, and considering it was a 0-0 draw in the reverse fixture up there, I think this is going to be a really difficult one. Yeah. Don't see there being a lot of goals, so I think it's going to be fine margins. We're going to win this, and hopefully we have them. Let's hope so.
If you're interested in coming along to watch how Lisburn Distillery against Sporting Legend, the match will take place here at New Grosvenor Stadium. That's this Saturday the 11th of February. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off, and we're more than happy to have you down supporting the Whites on the day. So now we come to the weekly forecast challenge, which is the competition between Lydia and myself to see who can correctly forecast the results and the scores in the other Premier Intermediate League games. The net result of this one being that the loser at the end of the season is going to have to present one of the shows wearing a football shirt from the other person's favourite English league team. In my case, if I win, Lydia is going to have to wear a Chelsea shirt as modelled by Eden Hazard against Arsenal at the weekend, and if Lydia somehow flukes the win, I've agreed to wear a Fulham shirt. So we'll see how it pans out.
You talk about me fluking, but currently I am still in the lead. And what happened at the weekend to just confirm this, Colin?
Well, the weekend, it has to be said, was low scoring. There only was 2 games because of a postponement. For game number 1, which was Dundela and Limavady United, we both got completely wrong, so we scored no points. In the other game, Queens were at home to Newry, 1 each going into the last 5 minutes of the game, which I predicted, I has to say. And then, of course, Newry scored a late goal, and you got your point, and I lost my bonus point. So,
well, it's a good thing the prediction doesn't finish after 80 minutes, then, Colin, isn't it? But
I wish we changed it to an 80-minute prediction league.
Absolutely not. So I'm still 12-6 in the lead.
12-6 in the lead. Long way to go.
Right, well, we'll just see what happens then. Well, if we have a look at this weekend's fixtures, okay, there's only 2 this week because it's an intermediate cup. So we have a reverse of last weekend's Newry versus Queens. So it's now Newry at home, Queens away. What do you think?
Okay, let's stick the boat out here, and I'm going to go Newry 3, Queens 0.
Well, I'm just going to stick with my original prediction, which was 2 Newry City. So 2 Newry, Queens 0.
Okay, so 2-0 and 3-0. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other fixture this week, we've got Tobermoor against Banbridge. You start with them.
I think I'm going to go Banbridge. I'm going to put pressure on Donegal Celtic. 2-1 Banbridge.
I can see that being a draw. I'm going to go for a 1 each draw.
Okay, well, we'll just see what happens. And we'll update you next week to see how much further in the lead I am. Every week I keep bringing it up.
Long way to go. Long way to go.
Our final guest on tonight's show is Lisburn Distillery supporter and Northern Ireland fanatic Noel Keenan.
Noel has recently been successful in an application to work for the IFA at the National Stadium in Windsor Park, and Lydia caught up with him today to find out a little bit more about Noel himself and also about the new role he's taking over.
So Noel, you've been a fan of Lisburn Distillery pretty much your whole life. Do you want to just tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've been a Whites fan since 1992. My uncle took me to my first game here that Easter. I think we lost to Cliftonville, I think, if memory serves me right. And I've over the years, my support and love for the club has grown, and they're my local team, and why not support your local team, you know? And I've had a lot of highs and lows over the years, a few promotions, a few relegations, and my own personal highlight would have been lifting the League Cup in 2011 there, not so long ago. Everybody here will remember David Cushley's last minute winner to lift us the trophy that day, the 3rd most senior trophy in local football, and we've had a few dabbles at European football as well in the preliminaries, so it's fantastic to see the Whites at that level. Before I started supporting the Whites, about 4 years before that, my first ever football match ever was here at New Grosvenor, and it was to see George Best play. George was playing in a charity match between Crewe United, who are a local team here, and Dundalk of the League of Ireland, and George played a half for each team. And my father, Philip, he helped me up at the tunnel after the game with my Man United scarf on, and I just remember this man with this big black bushy beard staring at me, and my dad lifting the scarf going, what about that team, Geordie? And George signed the match programme, and I have it sealed and safely tucked away at home. So and it's only a few years after that I discovered Distillery, so I always take great pride in saying that my first ever football game was here at New Grosvenor, and it was to see George Best play.
I mean, there's just some amazing memories there, and talking about George Best, one of our country's best ever footballers, maybe the best footballer in the world. But you've travelled quite a bit, far and near, to watch Northern Ireland play. Just like to share some of your memories about that.
Yeah, I've been a massive Northern Ireland fan for a long time now. Ironically enough, this coming Saturday it'll be 20 years exactly since I attended my first match, 3-0 win at home to Belgium. I remember walking into the railway stand that night after paying £3 a ticket to get in, and I might as well have been walking into Wembley. I was hooked, and I haven't looked back since. And like you say, yes, I've had the good opportunities to travel with the team throughout Europe. It took me my 12th away trip before I seen us win a match, and that was in the Faroe Islands in September of 2015. But yeah, some great memories. It's always good to follow the team and see a bit of the world, and I think that's the beauty of football. You know, it takes you to places that you might never think about going to. I mean, I've been lucky enough to visit the Faroe Islands, which were absolutely spectacular. Luxembourg, less said about that the better, but still it's a good place to say you've visited. And the Netherlands as well, in Amsterdam, was a fantastic experience. And yeah, I'm looking forward to visiting San Marino this September.
Brilliant. And, you know, talking about that real love of football and what it can really do for people, you've recently had a new role with the IFA, which is the Education and Heritage Centre. You're working in there. Just want to share about a little bit more about that role.
Yes, certainly. It's a volunteer role through the Irish Football Association. It's basically we're taking tours of the stadium, the National Stadium at Windsor Park, and the new Heritage Centre that they're putting together. And it's going to be an absolutely fantastic experience for any football fan, especially if a football fan of Northern Ireland. You'll have yours truly here taking people on tours, and the tours are aimed at everybody, but especially it would be perfect for young kids to inspire them, and that's part of what it's about. It's about inspiring people to wear the shirt for Northern Ireland, to want to play, to want to aspire to be the next David Healy, the next Gareth McCauley, Kyle Lafferty. But even if it inspires them to buy a ticket to a match and support the team, then there's no better time to do that. And I think the Heritage Centre and the stadium tour itself will definitely go a long way to inspiring people to do that. And I hope everybody, especially at Distillery, and all the academy teams and coaches will definitely bring all their youth teams to experience the tour.
Well, brilliant. We'd just like to wish you all the best in that role then for the future. All right. Thanks very much, Noel. So that's just about it from episode 10 of Lisburn Distillery TV.
Just on behalf of Lydia and myself, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everybody who's been watching the show, who's been sharing it and has been liking it through the various means of social media. Last week's episode 9, was the highest viewed ever of Lisburn Distillery TV, with over 6,000 people taking the time to actually watch the episode. So thank you very, very much on behalf of the both of us.
And if you would like to get in contact with the show, you can do so by the email address that's on your screen right now, or you can send us a quick Facebook message. Either way, we would really love for you to get in touch.
Thanks once again, everybody, for watching.
Come on, you white.